when the thought comes in before we attach an emotional feeling to the situation, it then programs the rest of your brain where you start attaching sort of thoughts, values and everything. And it made me understand the brain a lot more and how we actually work fundamentally as biological humans and why in which we do things. And that led me towards wanting to know that more. Not only we are a physical being and we do things and we make decisions on the basis of our biological form as well. That makes up for so much. Like our brain is a piece of hardware that works in ways instinctively on the basis of who we are and where we're from and where we came from.
Yeah.
Like why we're fearful, why we get angry, why we try and protect ourselves. And when you understand that, when you look at evolutionary biology on the basis of what makes you up fundamentally as a person to where you came from and what impacts things had on you as a child growing up, you start to build this really clear picture of yourself, and then you start understanding what you bring. And that allowed me to understand so much more, not only about me, but then who I actually wanted to be around and who I wanted to start associating myself with, and not settling for less, but actually trying to also find people that challenge me and want to feed into that, me equal to them, you know. And
I'm gonna have to read it again.
it's a really good book.
Read it.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a long time since I've read it, and that's why I kind of want to pick it up again. But it was another thing that allowed me to understand me a bit more. And then with therapy, it was about creating boundaries and not people pleasing, because I had that problem so much.
Yeah, me too.
And actually using I and how I feel. And Charlie's really good for that, my brother, where you use that term I, and he taught me a lot about that without blaming others or your partner, and being specific about your needs and expectations, because I think that's really important. Because before I used to throw that all away, where I wasn't using that sense of I or boundaries, because I thought that was selfish, and I thought that wasn't a healthy thing to do, because if my needs were met, that's fine, as long as your needs were getting met and you were happy, that meant that I was good. And that actually led me to resent not only myself but the other person. So it's really important understanding that sense of I and your boundaries and your expectations, because that pays you back more, and it pays back for a lot more of a healthier relationship, and being able to express yourself clearly in a way that's healthy and for you will only bring you more happiness and joy within your relationship.
Yeah,
I think that adds so much weight. It really does. Because I think before, where I never used that, my relationships weren't in a good place, because I didn't have that appreciation for myself. But once I sort of wanted to know and understand myself more, it meant that I could not necessarily stick up for myself more, but just say, these are my boundaries and you've overstepped a boundary, or this is how I feel. It means that you for me, it meant that I'd done the work. I know who I am. I won't get gaslit. I can have a constructive conversation. I can deal with the criticism. I want to learn. I want to learn more about you as well.
Exactly.
And that's a really important thing, I think, especially for men. I feel that my friends that are women who are in relationships struggle with that with their partners who are men. They don't have this drive to want to talk about their feelings or have these things in place. It tends to be more sort of male focused, not sort of looking within and trying to understand not only their partner but themselves on a deeper level of this empathy and vulnerability. And this, it's a funny one, but I do feel for the guys that are listening to that, it's really important to try and fundamentally understand that more about yourself.
Well, as we mentioned earlier, I guess it's very important to have a relationship not only just for physical attractiveness, but actually for emotional stimulation and psychological aspect of it, I guess. So you want a relationship that's challenging and that challenges your beliefs and what you think about yourself and just about relationship in general.